563 of just joshing. Isn't that cool?
Whoa.
I know.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, you've been doing this a lot. Okay.
No, yeah. I'm not joking. Like when I was on my show, I said that I'm
Uh-huh.
going to make an ass of myself, and they gave me an award for it. Like this is legit, no joke, an award-winning, award-nominated show. It's been done, right? That so.
Yeah.
This is like how do I put this? You've talked to me a couple times now. You know how seriously I take myself.
Yes.
So yeah, like totally serious, right? But I mean, sometimes I have to say this. Like, there's just no ego. Like, I'm actually okay at what I do. Like, I'm actually good at it.
There's nothing wrong with saying I can do what I can do. Why? I don't understand that. I
No,
mean,
no,
I do understand
I'm
about.
being silly. I'm just being silly for the sake of being silly at the moment.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking. Because I mean, I understand imposter syndrome. Trust me. But at the same time, shit.
No,
Listen,
no. Okay,
I'm
so
good at what I do. And
well, no. The honest. You are like no bullshit. Here's how I look at it. Like when I first was nominated for an award, I had a big case of imposter syndrome about this shit. I really, really did. It's like, how did I handle it? How I deal with imposter syndrome really is no matter what good things come my way, I ask myself the same three questions. How do I get here? What do I do so well that people have noticed?
Mm-hmm.
What do I suck at? Right? It's a surprisingly because it's a surprisingly level assessment of your skills. Because what I'm doing now is I want to continue to succeed.
Yes. Of course.
Right? Yeah, I want to continue. It's not how to put this. Like anyone can stumble into success once. It can happen to all of us. Even by accident, it can happen. But to understand that success is a process as much as anything else, and even though there's an odd little paradox with it in that you can do everything right and still screw up.
Oh yes.
Like it's really interesting how that works. The flip side is if you don't do those things, you never succeed.
I know, isn't it? Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Because most of the things I've ever done in my life, I've just fallen into.
Yeah.
The biggest, the best, and biggest things in my life, fallen into, or I just did it as a lark. I thought, oh,
Yeah.
that might be interesting to go check out, and boom, I'm a part of a haunted house, you know, uh, crew for 3 years. It was great. It was great fun, but I didn't expect when I went in for the audition to go anywhere. And boom, it was great. And I met some great people and had a really good time. And I learned a lot about the weird substrata and subculture in the haunting world.
That's really cool. That's
really
cool.
It's fascinating.
Before we get there, hey Joe, how you doing, buddy? I'm excited for this conversation too. Last week we were supposed to do this, and you
I got sick.
Yeah, you
My
did.
head just would decide to explode. So
yeah, I actually helped. Hold on a second here. I'm just doing one little thing here. There we go. I just had to make sure that I can watch the random conversations here and there, so I can actually interact with them on Facebook.
Yes.
Twitch, I got nailed down here, but Facebook, not so much. But so I kind of look back and forth on Facebook every so often. But it's like we'll go success, and then we'll talk about your haunted house like egg adventures because they sound so freaking cool. But it's funny to me because success is never what you imagine it to look like, ever. It never looked like. Although ironically, what I have found, this is the absolute honest truth. It's not that different than the person going for it. Like ironic, like funnily enough, like I accidentally wrote and got published traditionally. It was both completely an accident, but it's exactly like the kind of thing I would have done. I accidentally started a podcast. It became an award-winning show. If I ever planned that, it was one of those natural accidents. It just happened. One of my, and I can't really say much. I can't announce the book yet. One of my books is going to be up for an award this year, cool. Right? Yeah, it's kind of cool. I never set out like none of the stuff was stuff I planned. Like my big world domination goals, I'm nowhere even close to.
World domination.
That's right. Listen, I'm a big Invader Zim fan, and the thing is, like, our Pinky in the Brain, I love that kind of stuff. So I always had those like big master plans. What I have found, this is the honest, the absolute truth, of everybody I've ever talked to, interviewed, done, success for everybody never looks like what we picture it to be.
No.
But it reflects you so well. It's like, I didn't ask for this, but I can't see it going any other way, if that actually makes sense. And that's I have found that with really successful people, like almost all of them. This wasn't where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be somewhere else. And but the truth is, it's, if you look at the person, you see what they do and how they do it, it makes sense that they're here. I have found that is very often the case. And so I have never been jealous of anyone's success for that reason, because honestly, and I know this too, it's hard to get notes. It's hard to really do these things. So all of that to say is my life story is fitting, yet never quite how I envision it. And I imagine yours, it sounds like, is very similar.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. Like again, I never had, I remember when I was graduating, I was senior high school, I was sitting like last class, and the teacher comes over to me and asks me, so what's your plans when you graduate? What's college you going to? What are your plans? And I said, I don't have any. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. She's like, but you have to. No, I don't have anything. I'm just going to see what happens. And that's what I did. I mean, I didn't go to college to my 30s. And that's a whole different atmosphere when you're the same age as your professors.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You are not going to pull any bullshit on me, because I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know what's bullshit and what's not. I took a lot of classes where I was just like, that's bullshit. That's not how it works in the real world. This little 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and this little, no, sweetie, it's not what happens. No. But yes, I just kind of fell into jobs. I have a long resume of crap jobs, but I've had some jobs that were just they're character building. In that, like, I got a job, and turns out that it was an illegal operation, and we got busted by the sheriffs the day after a day after Halloween. The sheriffs came in and busted us, and I had to call my night job to say, hey man, I might be in jail, just letting you know, I might not be there tonight. And I didn't go to jail, I got to go free, because all I did was just desktop publishing stuff. I didn't know they were illegal. It was just a desk job.
Yeah, no.
I've had a lot of crap jobs, and I just fall into them. I don't. The Jake Ishtinheji series, it wasn't like I planned on writing a Jake Ishtinheji series. I was at a con. A guy came to me and said, hey, I'm doing this anthology about chickens in pulp. Write a chicken-based story, but it has to be pulp noir. It has to be real, not like chickens with guns. I was like, I'll do it. And I did it, and the anthology never came to pass, because you know how sometimes anthologies just don't happen. But he liked my story so much, he said, hey, do you want to turn it into a series? And I'm like, all right. And that's what happened. That's how Jake Ishtinheji became what it became. And then 6 stories later, it's the whole Jake Ishtinheji thing. I didn't plan on writing about zombie chickens. It just kind of happened. Same thing, all my stories, actually. Like, The Revenge of the Blood Red Maid. I get a phone call from my friend on a Sunday. He's like, yeah, I need this one story. I need one more story for a steampunk superhero anthology. I need something. Can you write something for me? And I'm like, I don't know shit about steampunk. I don't know nothing. Fine, I'll write something up for you. How many words? Like 5,000. That's no big deal. You can crank that out. When do you need it? Friday. So I've got less than 7 days to create a universe that I do not understand. I don't know the genre. And I did it. That was the Eradicators, Ectoplasmic Eradicators Wanted. And I did that story. But again, I just fell into it. Then from that story, I wrote another story, The Galvanized Girl, which has actually done a lot better than a lot of other stuff. It's just, I always fall into things. I'm like the haunted house thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I was a theater kid. And I always wanted to do haunted houses, because I love ghosts and shit and horror. So I saw this. Actually, I saw this thing for haunted house, and I went to it, and you had to audition. This guy really wanted a theatrical production. He was from LA. He was doing this very theatrical production. This wasn't like your Freddy Krueger's, we're going to throw poop at you and jump out at you. This thing had a theme, it had a script, it had all the things because he ran a house in LA. So anyway, you had to audition. I was not okay, fine. So I auditioned, and I think what really got me the part was at the time I had really long hair, and they were like, "We can use that hair for something." So I was amazed. I got the gig, and I was the big baddie in our house. I was the big bad, and I had to scare the shit out of people. From September to October. Actually, from September through October 31st, and scare small people and children, and it was great fun. It was so much fun. But the deal was, it was basically improv. You're doing improv for 7 hours a night. And our director said, "Trust me, if you can do this, you can do anything." And it's true, because it is. It's improv. Everybody came into my room. I would have to kind of suss them out. What's the best way to do it? And scare them or not scare them. We had a big rule about not scaring children, not, like not hurting kids. And my face makeup, because I was basically an 80-year-old undead bitch. I was terrible, terrible old woman. And I would come at people and great. Okay, the sign of a good night was how many people you could get to wet their pants. And that was always like our high five into the night was how many people peed in your room. So high five. But you didn't do it to children. I helped people, and also we'd get people who'd come into your room who were scared and they couldn't make it. They couldn't make it to the house. So you would help them. I would become like the granny of the house, and I would put on a whole different attitude, and I would take them through the house and show them out the chicken doors. There's actually every haunted house has a chicken door you can get out. But the deal was we were all mic'd, so I could tell the other actors not to jump out at this person, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. But again, I just fell into that, and it was 3 years of my life that I devoted to that. It was so much fun. But nothing I would have said, yes, I'm going to do this. I met some great actors. I mean, these were actors who just needed a gig. And we got like $1,000 for doing this. So it was a good paying gig, and they just needed a gig because it was kind of the off season for them as theater people. And it was great. So much fun. Fell into a ghost hunting, actual paranormal investigation group. Again, I just kind of fell into that because I went to this New Age expo, met a person, got to talking to them. Next thing I know, I'm at the Valeska Axe murder house, spending a weekend investigating, 8 people who'd been axe murdered to death back in 1912.
So, good Lord, I could just like. There's so many things. We're gonna go answer Joe's question. Want me real quickly, and then we're gonna keep going. Did you get a little extra if you made someone throw up at the amusement park?
I got a little extra because I was the house manager as well. But no, we didn't have throw up. Well, we did have throw ups because people were drunk. Oh my God, drunk skinheads. So much puking. But no. I went strictly for the pee. One of my favorite scares was my director came into the chicken door and said, "Look, there's this guy coming. I heard him in the crowd. He says he's never been scared. And he's with his girlfriends. Give it to him." So I'm like, "That's cool." So the guy came in with these 2 girls. I could tell it was him. Young dude, really buff. 2 beautiful little girls with him. He's hugging onto them. And I came from the corner, and I did a really slow burn, and I came slowly creeping up to them. And then I went at them with my whole witch hag, scary undead thing. He screamed, pushed his girlfriends into the walls, and fell down into the corner and was crying. High five me. So yeah,
a lot of levels actually there. He sounded kind of douchey to begin with.
He was just a kid. He was just a kid. Still, yeah. Oh, so many douches. The ones who would come in with their girlfriends and push them into me because they're screaming, they're really scared, and they would push them into me, and I would stop and slam down my cane and said, "Sweetie, you deserve better than this. He is tossing you to the dead. Truly, you deserve better than this guy." And she would say, "Yeah, you're right. You're an asshole." And she'd push him aside and go running. So I broke up a lot of really bad relationships.
So
good karma for me.
So Nikki, doesn't sound like you're that evil.
I'm not.
No, you didn't sound like you're that evil. You're like karma's little helper. That's what you are. You're karma's little helper.
I want to, if I could come back in another life, I want to be a fury. I want to be that person that makes justice happen. Like, someone who got away with something and I know they fucking did it and I take them down. I want to be that person.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh, okay.
There's so many people that I just want to make them hurt.
See, I I understand that,
I have a
but
lot of anger.
I as nice as I do, there are days I wake up incredibly pissed off. But I recognize something too, and it's something I just realized about the world and everything in it. Making them hurt isn't going to fix what they've done. And
that we'll just kill them and then do it the next time.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm just like for me personally, what I have off this is the hell I wish. This is the hell I wish on every person.
Oh
no, yeah, she didn't make me speechless. She made me laugh I was trying not to laugh my ass off too much with all the stories told that's scaring people. Speechless? Nah. This is what I've learned about people. Like true hell is giving people exactly what they want. I'm that kind of asshole. Because here's the thing. We all do exactly what we want to do. The only real question, it's true. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Here's the question. This is always the real question. What want is being served, and are you in control of that desire, or does that desire control you?
Oh, you're very stoic. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Have some Epictetus. That's my husband is a stoic, and he's constantly in my face. You need some Epictetus in your life. You need some Marcus Aurelius. Here, read this.
No.
I don't want death. I'm a Celt. I'm a Celt. I'm an inner Celt, and I want blood.
No. And I can look. My grandmother's Maltese. I'm gonna just tell you that they're like we have a little bit of everything in us as a result. And on my mom's side, there's German. So I got like a Nordic Viking conqueror. Like there's. Oh, yeah. So I get that. What I have learned in life. This is just me, my own experiences. People always get what they want. And for most of us, and this is the thing, for most of us, we don't understand that. And more often than not, I feel that is a bigger punishment to people than they realize. They may not. This is just me. Like this is just my own kind of take on it. I realized this about 3 years ago or 3-4 years ago that people always do what they want, and then I realized that. It honestly killed a lot of my anger towards people in general, because then I looked at everybody in a different light. What are they actually wanting when they're hurting people? What are they actually doing? What are they actually? Again,
hurt people. Yeah.
Yeah. I took a step back and I really understood. It made me change how I looked at people, how I looked at my friends, how I looked at my people I didn't like. I got over on a lot of my anger when I did that. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still some anger and some stuff about some of the injustices of the world. But I don't know if I am that person to punish, because I do not think. I think the fact that life is so unfair, that is a bigger carrier of justice than I think people give credit for. That's just me. And then yeah.
Because I always think about the murder of Junko Furuta. Are you familiar with that case?
No.
What's it? I forgot the guy's name. Shit. Anyway, he wrote a book called The Girl Next Door. It's a horror novel. Anyway, back, I don't remember what the years are. In a nutshell, she was the neighborhood girl. These bunch of guys brought her into their basement. They raped and tortured her until she died. I mean, the whole neighborhood. There was like 5 guys did this to her for I don't know how long. Raped, tortured, beat, burned, until she finally died, and they put her body in some concrete. These boys, this was in Japan, are now walking free. They never spent a day in jail. Not one. Because they all had money. And they were all able to get away. And those are the kind of people that I want to take down. Because they got nothing. They deserve to suffer.
Oh, Dory Jones. Oh my God, I can relate. Okay, yeah.
I go complete. Also, I have children, and I'm telling you right now, anything were to happen to my kids, I would go utterly dark side, and there would be nothing.
And you know what? I don't blame you. Like, this is one of those things where I just like I understand where you're coming from, kind of. Like, I don't have kids of my own, so I can't really say I understand. But I do know this: if I brought some life into this world somehow, some way, I would do everything in my power to make sure they were as protected as possible. And God help anyone that tried to do anything about it.
Oh, the things I've already. Trust me, you don't want to know.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want this to incriminate yourself too much on this show. This is not what the show. Yeah, this is not what the show is.
But no, trust me. If anybody, no. No. There was this, okay. So, yeah. Anyway,
yes, no. How about we just leave that last little bit like this? I understand where you're coming from. Is that cool?
I'm easy, man. I'm easy.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Also, never get on your bad side. I somehow feel in your case, the only downside to your personality, the other downside to it, you might, and this is where maybe you having your husband being a stoic is a good thing. You might not actually know. You might actually not. You might not know when to stop.
Oh, I don't.
Right?
That was always. There was a time once, years ago, my son came home and his nose was bleeding, because the boys next door punched him in the nose because he wanted to come home, and they said, no, you're not coming home, you're staying here, and they punched him in the nose. And my little 5-year-old boy, my sweet little boy, comes home with a bloody nose, and I am like, oh fuck no, and I go next door, and my husband is basically having to pull me back. And turns out we get over there, and the parents are gone. It's just these two little kids all by themselves with their nanny who doesn't speak English. This was in Oman. This was a trust me, the whole embassy crew is whacked. Anyway, so they were there, and they were terrified because I am there, and I am like, I'm going to kill both of you. And what I did was, Brian was trying to cope. No, we'll talk to your parents tomorrow. And when Brian turned away, I turned to the kid and said, yeah, your cat's nice. Be ashamed to see him strung up outside your window, wouldn't it? You touch my kid again, I'm killing your cat. And yeah, they never bothered my kid again. I would never have actually done it, but
I don't know about that. I
would never hurt an animal.
You also seem the type that once you give your word, you keep it.
I'm going to hurt. Well, again, I was just really angry, really angry.
Yeah, I know.
And because you made my baby bleed.
No, I get it,
darling, sweetie.
I get it. It's just one of those things. Like,
blood has been shed. Yes, you started with the blood. You started now. So I'm evil. No, I'm not evil. Actually, I am neutral good. If you want to get all D&D, I'm neutral good. I am fine as long as you don't push my buttons and then, oh shit, you started
it. Honestly, I hate to admit this. If you were to do D&D, I'm actually closer to like a paladin. Like, honestly.
Are you? God. Oh my God, you're so boring. No, you're not. They're very good. They're very. They're lovely. We need those little Jedi Knight guys, I guess.
Yeah, that is what you do.
I'm more the Qui-Gon Jinn of the, kind of a gray.
I don't get me wrong. I.
Are you a Jedi?
No.
Are you Sith?
No.
Are you gray? Are you not part of the Star Wars? Come on. If you were a Star Wars guy, who would you be?
I probably.
Come on.
Honestly, probably gray. I'm not. I don't play nice with others.
Like me.
I don't play nice. I don't play nice with others. In that, like, I'm very much. I have my own moral code. This is just me. And
so you're more neutral good then.
No,
moral code, neutral good.
Yeah. Okay, I guess.
Paladins are not. They have a code, but it's given to them by usually something, a higher God, a higher purpose or whatever, and they have
am
to
I
do
Han
it.
Solo? Am I Han Solo, Joe? Is it me you're referring to as Han Solo or her? I
Ooh, can I be Han Solo? I love being. Although Leia's a bitch. I mean, she's awesome. She
no,
takes
no,
no shit.
No, Leia's a badass. She's not a bitch.
Leia
She's
is
just
a
a
badass. Luke compared to Leia is a wuss.
no, no.
I mean, really. Oh my God! Anything happens, anything bad happens, he goes running off to live in Scotland with a bunch of little things.
No. Leia is
A
definitely.
badass. She
Yeah,
loses
yeah.
her
No,
entire planet.
Leia
Does she
was.
go running off to sulk?
Well,
No.
here's the thing. She's the Skywalker that didn't even think of turning. No matter how stacked the odds were, no matter how much the game was rigged, she
She
always.
always put on her big girl panties and went
Yeah,
to
no,
work.
she was tough. Like that's a tough one. Like
Obi-Wan ran, Luke ran, Leia stayed.
Obi-Wan didn't actually really. Okay, I'm going to disagree with Obi-Wan
Ran.
running. No, he did not run. He went to fight.
Then after it was all over with, he ran. We went to
Well,
Tatooine.
what could he do? What in all this thing, Luke, yes, can't argue with you with Luke. Obi-Wan, the way they did Obi-Wan, he didn't. That was the writers.
Blame the writers, man. It's true. It is true. You got to blame the writers for all. Though there's some
But
writers.
if you want AFC, but here's the thing. I think that the case for Luke is very strong. The case for Obi-Wan's a little different. Sometimes the right strategy, unfortunately, is to let shit play out. That's right, and that was Obi-Wan could have continued the fight, and he actually won the fight. The Emperor, Yoda had to talk him down.
But as the Padawan of Qui-Gon Jinn, what do you expect? He's going to be the kind of guy who understands, I got to learn to ride this out.
Yeah. So this is why I'm going to disagree with you about Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan didn't actually run. It was a situation. This is the thing. This is one of those things where he had like an honest look, an honest assessment of this has to play out, right? Like, what am I fighting here? Even if somehow he could beat the Emperor, let's say he could. People had chosen this path, and they had to ride that out until people were ready to move on from it. Yeah. I yell Abraham's like Kirk yells Khan.
Yeah, I did the same thing back when Moffat was a part of Doctor Who. We all go, Moffat! Because Moffat, now I don't, because Moffat was actually a lot better than the bastard they got going Doctor Who right now.
Yeah.
I mean, what is his name? I don't even know. I don't watch it anymore.
I gotta let you guys in on this secret. I haven't watched Doctor Who yet.
Really? Don't. No. It's terrible.
No. See, I think as a concept, Doctor Who's brilliant because as a concept, it's actually.
Well, we're talking the new Who. The new Who. Yeah, Eccleston's great. Tennant's great. Smith is okay.
Well. No, like hear me out on this, right? As a storytelling concept, it's brilliant. Yeah. You can bring an actor or actress in for 2 or 3 years. You can tell a complete story with that character. They move on, and you can bring somebody else in.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, as a concept, it's brilliant.
As a writing exercise.
No, it's great. And honestly, it's television genius. If you really want us to be like completely honest, it's television genius.
Well, okay, good. You know why they did it, right? Why they did the whole regeneration thing and all that?
No, I don't.
The first doctor, William Hartley, he had Alzheimer's. He had dementia. He couldn't do the thing anymore. So they wanted to keep the show going. So they said, well, hell, he's an alien. Why doesn't he just regenerate? And that's how it all started, because the first actor became so addled he couldn't do the job anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they started with the next one. That's how the whole regeneration thing started. But again, unless you're a Whovian, you don't know. But anyway, yeah. I was a huge Whovian until this last Doctor, and it's awful. It's just, don't even watch it anymore.
But here's the beautiful thing about this too. This is the beautiful thing about a series like that. Not every Doctor's for everybody.
Oh, true.
Right. And that's not a bad thing.
Well,
you can reach a different audience with this concept, and you can bring that old audience back with another Doctor down the road. It's right now. You might not
hope, but this last cruise completely changed the mythos of the Doctor. So you don't know. So you don't. They've changed everything about the Doctor. Everything. So it's like, okay, how when she's leaving supposedly at the end of this season. Well, how are you going to possibly get back on track? Are we going to make the Jodie Whittaker years a dream? Because you've completely dismantled and changed the entire mythos.
I'm the wrong guy
Again,
to
you don't
answer that.
know, so you don't, because I quit watching. I just couldn't. The writing's awful. And I don't blame the actress. I don't blame the actors, because I understand. I've been an actor, and I know that all you can do is what's on the fucking page. And the scripts are terrible. They're not written by science fiction writers. They're written. They're just terrible. And God love them. They just what the fuck they're doing. But anyway, yes. Next subject.
Okay.
We've done murder. We've done Doctor Who.
We've done Angel of Vengeance. We've done haunted houses, making people pee in their pants, right?
Yes, I've accidentally maybe got myself in trouble with the law. You don't know. So
Yeah, well, that's the best thing of like. I grew up. I grew up in London, Ontario. So London, Ontario.
What's that?
I knew that. All right, is this? I've made fun of the city on the show a few times because of what should be there and isn't. But when I grew up, right, in my neighborhood, there was really two things going on: car thieves and drug dealers.
Oh.
Literally over my yard, like on the other side of that yard, I hopped the fence. It was every stolen car in the city of London at one point. Like no joke, no joke, like no joke. There was, it had become pretty big operation at that point in time. And so I knew of individuals who were involved, and that's just how he is. And same thing, like you learn at a very young age when you're around things like that.
Oh yes.
Right. That this is just how things are, and it doesn't really matter whether you think it's right or it's wrong. The truth of the matter is, this is going to go on, no matter what you say or what you do. So you got really two choices. Well, you got three. You can get involved in it, probably pay the same price as everybody else ends up paying, all right? You can, just stay neutral. Like just let people do their thing. You do yours. What I've actually, the interesting thing is people that are on, so we said, the shadier side of the law, they have actually a really interesting code of honor themselves. Actually, more often than not, they will leave you alone. If you leave them alone, it's it's one of those situations where you just look at it and go, I gotta do my thing, and you're like, okay, it's good to know that you do your thing. I'm out, but it's good to know that you do your thing, and that I have found that tends to, because once money changes hands, that's when you can't get out, and that's pretty much the lesson there. Never ever get to that point, and you're fine. The moment you cross that line, you better be good, or you will. Yeah. But
yeah. Well, yeah. I come from East Nashville, and East Nashville is kind of like that. Well, nowadays East Nashville is where all the trendy, rich bohemian trust fund babies live. When I grew up in East Nashville was not. East Nashville had places you did not go to, and there's still places in Nashville you do not go to. When we lived in Berrywood, the name of our house is on the street, Berrywood, so we called it Berrywood. Our next door neighbors, oh my God, there was one woman, her nickname was a panty stealing whore, because that's what I heard. One day she was outside and she was screaming at her boyfriend, I know who you are. You a panty stealing whore. So that was her nickname from then on. Then sometimes we'd be outside, we'd hear him going, I know it. I know a heroin kit when I see one. You can't shame that from me. I know a heroin kit when I see one. Or their drug dealer would come in and just kind of have the drugs and just selling it right there in the driveway. We're just sitting there on our back porch watching, like, it's a thing.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Although one night I'm laying there in bed, it's during the summer, so the windows are all up, and I hear this person screaming, I've been stabbed! I've been stabbed! And I'm laying there going like, well, shit, what does that mean, stabbed? Like with a knife? With a... Do I need to call somebody? Oh, crap.
Do you want to call somebody? There. Like, do you want to? Like, at that...
I'm just laying there going, should I? I don't, what does that mean, stabbed? Anyways, I never called. I waited for the police to come. But my son told me the next morning he happened to look up in his window, look out to see there was a guy outside flapping around their backyard screaming that he had been stabbed. The other guys were around him trying to hold him down. And my son's like, then I realized, oh my God, they can see me in this window. If they did just stab this guy, my ass is next. Down. And but we figure in the end it was just some guy having a bad trip. It happens. You're having a bad I put it this way, so yeah, we don't live there anymore. Now I live in a place where we hear gunshots all the time, but it's primarily people shooting, I don't know, rabbits or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't ask. I do not ask. If they're shooting, it's over there.
So here's the thing, right? If you know how you can tell if someone's lived in a rough neighborhood versus someone that has never lived in a rough neighborhood. Mm-hmm. What happens when they hear the sound of a gun or something really bad happening around them? That's how you can tell. Anyone that's actually lived in a rough neighborhood gets the fuck out of Dodge. Ouch. I don't care if it's not me involved. I am not going to be anywhere near this. Fuck that.
Not my problem.
Well,
it's not my problem.
Not my problem. Not my headache. I do not. It's gunshots. I don't want to see a stray bullet accidentally doing something to me because that can happen. Or number two, if there's fuck that, I'm out. I'm just out. Like I'm out.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we live
now. People that have never lived in a rough neighborhood, bang! Oh my God, there's a gunshot. Let's go see. No. You don't want to see.
No.
You can't.
These assholes, they hear screaming. Let's go find out what's screaming. No. You keep away from the screaming. So yeah, where we live, we'd go like we go for if we went for a walk at night. My husband would always go packing. Always.
Yeah.
You never knew. Hell, he went packing when he was taking the trash out because there was a time when people were getting like beat up. The old man next to us got beat up by a guy, and Brian said he was out taking the trash, and this dude appeared out of nowhere and was like, hey, come here, sir. And my husband, being a former Marine, turned, put his hand on his hip as if he had a gun, and used his gun. I call it the gunny voice. Used the gunny voice of saying, no, sir, you stay back. You stay back. Don't you come any closer. And the guy came closer. He pulled out his gun. Stay back, motherfucker. What's the problem here? And also when Brian uses his gunny voice, most people instantly shrink about 3 inches. He scares the hell out of people when he uses his gunny voice.
Yeah, Stuart, I completely agree. Actually, I got a fun one for you too.
Yeah.
So it was my first Phoenix Comic Con. I was living in Phoenix at the time, and unbeknownst to me, the bus from Mesa into Phoenix proper, right, ended at like 7:00 at night. I did not know this until because I was on that bus.
Okay.
So it gets off literally like one of the worst areas in Phoenix. Like literally, like it's a fucking like it's still daylight. So it's not completely dangerous yet.
But you can sense it. You can feel it.
When you see around you trash like everywhere.
Yeah.
You see bars everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're not in a good place because one
pawn shops.
Yeah, pawn shops, yes, but I mean everything's not just pawn shops. Everything's barred down.
Oh yeah, everything. Yes.
Yeah, right. So you're like, oh my God, oh shit, I need to go. So this is right. So I have these 2 bags of free stuff. This is the cool thing about the United States. This is the awesome thing I will say about the United States. Free shit happens. Oh, every time you go to a con. So I got
all about the swag.
Yeah, all that. Oh yeah, no, totally, right. So I got these 2 bags, right, and I'm walking for about 8 miles. It's about an 8-mile walk from there to my house. So I'm at 7th Avenue on the west end of Phoenix. I'm going up, and then I look behind me, and there's this gentleman following me.
Oh God, you're gonna die.
No. Well, so I was always told this, and this is what you do in that situation. 1, you stay in the light. You never ever deviate from staying in the light because you will always see them. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. 2, if you know you can't avoid it, and I had 2 freaking bags of swag, I was not just like, I can't avoid this. Pick a spot, confront them. because at that point, what you've done now is you made this difficult. So what I did, got there, I got to we crossed the interstate. Like there was an interstate like exit, and I was almost back to where almost back to like proper like like suburb area of Phoenix, like almost there. I turn around, go what? Like that.
Yeah, you do the yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Because if I, you know what? He's been following me for a few blocks, and I know he's been following me for a few blocks. It's on. Like it's either we're gonna do this here, and something bad is going to happen to him, or something bad is going to happen to me. That's just the way it's going to be because I don't have a choice here. He freaked the fuck out. And,
what?
Yeah, and he bolted because I no longer am I
the script. Yeah, you went off the script.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do.
Yeah. Not only did I go off the script, I made this interesting. Because now it's like even with a gun, even if you do have a gun in that situation, this is dicey because now I'm like I got nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me very dangerous. You can still win, but now it's work. You always go after someone
always. Well, I work downtown Nashville, and sometimes when I go for walks at lunch, yes, I've had times where I'll be walking around and I'll notice, okay, there's this park in front of the public library we call Hobo Park because it's where all the hobos sleep and kind of hang out. And sometimes when I'm walking past, I've had this happen. You'll suddenly get a couple of tails, and they're like, okay, fine. So you just walk, and I used to go into the library, and I usually lose them in the library because what are they going to do? They're going to follow you around the library. But so far, I've never had to turn, but I put off a real vibe of do not fuck with me. I know how to kill you, and possibly I will use you for my tomato patch.
Yes.
I'm looking for neutralizer. I'm looking for things for my tomato patch. So I put off a vibe of please don't fuck with me because I don't have the time for you right now. However, my sister, God love her, I call her Bundy bait because she attracts all the Bundys. She attracts, oh my God, every whack job, every bully, every whatever. And she's 5'9" and the whole thing. I'm not. I'm like 5'6.5", 5'7". But I put off a vibe of please don't make me have to kill you. Ugh. I don't want to deal with that right now. It's just the vibe I put off. And it's a vibe you learn. You never look people in the eye, and you always put off the vibe of, please don't let me fucking kill you right now.
A.F. Stewart, dead bodies are good horror. Yeah, they really are. But
they are. Oh, trust me, I'm all about it.
So the toughest women I have ever known in my life are in this order. My grandmother. She grew up in Malta, raised her brothers, her sons, and me. She started at 13. That's a tough woman. That's a tough woman. That's an incredibly tough woman. Do not like. She's tired. She is the only woman I will not say no to. I'll say no to anybody else. Her, I will not. I will not. That's the hard way. She'll put me down if she wants to.
She'll put you down.
She's in her 80s now. She can't quite put me down like she could. No, she can't.
She won't.
Still,
but
still, one of the literally one of the toughest women I've ever met. The other couple women I consider really tough are like, there's a friend of mine on Facebook. She's a Russian model. Mm-hmm. Russian women are super tough women. They all are. Every one I've met, they're just super tough. This one would decapitate you and wouldn't even think twice, right? because you come from an environment. This is the thing. Like you come from this environment. You come from an environment where there's almost like a kill or be killed aspect to it. I don't know what your sister like. So
she's just shy. She's always been. Really shy.
Sounds a little more like, I don't know off the top of my head, but it sounds a little bit. There's a little bit more to it than that. But the impression I've gotten from people like you recognize, look, I'm going to make this as difficult as I can. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this difficult. I'm going to be loud. I ain't going to shut up. I ain't going to back down. I have a lot of anger because I saw a lot of shit I probably shouldn't have when I was younger.
Oh, so
yeah. So I have a lot of anger at the world because the world sometimes really does suck. And fuck it, I got nothing to lose at this moment. So you come at me, if you or me, I am going to kill you. I have made that decision. And you got that in your head. That makes you scary. Your sister does not.
She does not.
She doesn't
She's
know
a
what that. She
very
doesn't,
sweet,
and that's
good
and
person, and
it's not.
never.
It's not. It's not. I don't think it's about being a. It's not about being a good or bad person. It's understanding the the nature of unfortunately, this is a bit as much a part of the world as anything else. Like especially when you have poor, rough areas, violence is a part of the world.
Yeah.
It just is. Good, bad, and different. It just is. Sometimes like it's but for a good person, if you're around that, you have to learn on some level to protect yourself from that. You chose to be as mean as the environment around you. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you it makes you just someone smart enough and strong enough to go, you know what, I am not going to let this beat me. Fuck that. I'm going to go forward. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to survive. I'm going to become a diamond. I am not going to let this pressure break me into dust. I'm not saying your sister's done that, but I do get the feeling that she never quite made that decision like you did. And because of the and because of that, it's not that she's a good or a bad person. It's just that you made a decision she did not. And
Also, I'm
because
the older. She's the younger. I was always able. I beat up her bullies.
yeah. Okay, so you're the big protector. So you learned that you had to like. I always say this. There's a little bit of the savage in me. It's not something I necessarily bring out. I'm nice. I'm polite. I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way. I like getting along with everybody. Like I generally do.
Yeah.
But if push really comes to shove, and I don't give a shit. I don't mean that in like a bad way. I just don't. So but I've made that I have learned living in the United States taught me how to be ruthless. And I'm grateful I know how to be. Because in business, in my writing career, that ruthlessness has served me well. Because it makes me value my time, like in terms of time, energy, and what I will commit to and invest in. It has made that ruthlessness I learned has served me incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
I can be, like I said, and that's the good thing. Sometimes you wish you didn't have to learn it this way, but you learn it one way or the other. And I feel with you, although it sounds like you were in a rougher place for a much longer time than I was.
Yeah. Well,
right?
My father taught me. Let me tell you the lesson my father taught me. Everybody else has like a lesson your parents taught you. What my father taught me was this, and this is what he told me flat out. If someone hits you, you hit them back twice as hard.
Mm-hmm.
If they get back up, you make sure you hit them hard enough they don't get back up a second time. You never ever leave an enemy behind. Always destroy the enemy. So that's what I learned as a child growing up was that no. Someone hits you, someone hurts you, you take them out. And if they get up and do it again, what? Are you stupid? So now I have to kill you. I've never killed anyone, but I just no, I don't understand. Okay, when you read about women, especially women in abusive relationships, and I always feel really bad about this, poor things. But at the same time, I'm thinking, bitch, he's got to sleep. You fix his food. I fix your food. Do you know how many ways I can poison you right now? So many ways. I have a garden of poisonous herbs in my backyard. Just for fun, I would never do it, but I have it. There's natural shit that grows in my backyard that I can use to poison you, and it looks like a fucking heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know some of those things are too.
Yeah. Do you really? You're going to do what?
So
do you want to wake up in the morning?
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. Okay. Fear pisses you off.
It does. Makes him. Yeah. How dare you think you can? What? Do you?
Yeah.
Fear.
See, that's the thing.
Mm-mm.
Fear pisses you off.
Makes me angry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You learn that very young. You didn't like how fear made you. Probably the first time it happened, you froze. You got mad. You got mad at yourself that you froze. Then, now maybe it didn't happen the second time or the third time, but eventually you got to a point where it's like, I never want to feel this way ever again. Yeah. And I'm never ever gonna. And that was a decision you made again at a very young age. Again, you need someone to temper you. That's the thing. You need someone.
That's why I have a husband who's a stoic.
Yeah. You need someone to pull you back because of what you've had to do, and you know.
Well, I call him my Watson because he grounds me. Mm-hmm. I'm like Sherlock, but then Watson grounds me and keeps me in check. Because again, Sherlock Holmes as a character, he's killed people, even in the canon books. You don't fuck with him. You don't fuck with the people that he takes under his wing.
So I don't know if I'm more terrified of you or A.F. Stewart here with her rhubarb leaves in a pot.
Oh, rhubarb. Oh, it's very, very dangerous. That shit's very, very dangerous. I got some in my backyard right now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not yet. It'll be coming soon.
Mine is lavender. Lavender is actually a really, really, really easy one.
Do you know chamomile can cause asthma attacks in people?
Oh, yeah.
So, good to know.
I know how to make a mustard. I know how to make a mustard gas actually more vicious than the average just by the garden. Oh, yeah, garden.
That's horrible. Oh,
I know. I told you. I told
well, we're writers. This is what we do. I mean,
it's not even that. It's not even that.
It is for me. I do a lot of research. I mean,
I'm just honest. I am a savage. I'm not. I don't lie about it. I'm nice about it. That's all. I'm polite.
I will nicely poison you.
I do a
lot of. I mean, my stories are all pretty fantastical and weird and stuff, all that. But I do a lot of freaking research. Amazing, a lot of research for the weird shit that I put out because I try to keep my horror and my weird pulp, my weird fiction grounded. Because for me, I like that. I don't like fiction that's not grounded.
All right, so Dory, I've been watching your things. Yeah, no, Dory, like a lot of you ladies here. Like I said, I don't know who terrifies me more, Dory, if Stewart, or you. But that's another thing.
Get together and call the mega cabal.
No, well, thing is, there's such a thing as too many chefs in the kitchen.
Too many witches I always say too many witches in the cauldron.
Yeah, that too. Whatever you wanna. However you want to do it.
Cauldron.
So, but
we can bring down the patriarchy. Yes. So.
But going back a sec before we go forward.
Okay.
A lot of it's interesting because again, I look at this time like regardless of where you stand, we live especially I don't know what it's like in the States so much, but in Canada there's a lot of fear, and for me it's something I don't fully understand because in one very real sense nothing's changed, right? In one very this idea that one day you're going to wake up and you're not going to be here anymore has always been true.
Right.
It's always been true that a disease or something painful is very likely going to be the culprit in wiping you out. Very, very likely.
Positive, yeah.
Right. It's very. I mean, that's by and large that's the way it is. So when I look at what's going on, I look at all the we'll just say the media coverage of the fear and the fear I've seen as a result. On one hand, I really just don't understand it because to me, it's like there's nothing really that different about this compared to anything else that's already out there. It's new, but so what? There are lots of things, even when this is no longer the big, scary, big bad, other things are going to come along that can wipe you out. Also, there are still things that have been here for thousands of years that can wipe you out. It doesn't really matter how you look at it from the grand scheme of things. One day you're going to die. Being afraid of those things and letting that hold you in a place that I feel is very unhealthy. Because that's the thing about fear. Fear is what makes people very, very, very talking about why they don't go after the person that sleeps. See, you don't like how fear makes you feel, but your reaction again is very, very hard, like steel. Some people bend and some people break to fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is. So when you look at someone that's in an abusive relationship, on one hand, you're right. They could do things all the time. They've been so beaten down, so frightened of what this person will do to them.
I know. Yeah.
It just completely shatters their confidence.
Oh.
Once that's
Yeah.
once that's gone, it doesn't matter who you are. You get shattered like that.
It's evil. What these people
Yeah.
do to the other people to break them down is evil, which is why I want to be a fury and kill these evil people, because they're evil. What you do to a human being, hurt them in such a way. Then again, I do understand. Trust me, I do. I do understand that hurt people hurt people, and I do know that the bullies are obviously very hurt. Someone hurt that person and broke them. Sorry, but now you need to be cast out and stuck back in the cosmic stew, and maybe it'll be better next time. But right now, you're causing a lot of problems. See, in Nick world, it'd be bad. In Nick world, I would just be no. Community service would be mulching. You're the mulch, because I'm sorry. Unless you
Your net is it your net or my net? What the heck is going on here? Give me a second here. Is it mine or yours? I hear you. Okay.
Because of the storms.
Okay. So I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. You just on this screen you've frozen.
I'm here. I can see you.
And then, no. It's okay. I see on Facebook you're still there, live and clear.
I don't know why. Like I said, it's we've been having because of the storms that come through.
Okay. Yeah.
50 degrees in May is freaky. So
Yeah.
I don't like that. I hate the cold.
I lived in Alberta. What's cold for me is not even close to what's cold for you.
That's true. The coldest I've ever been in Budapest.
Yeah. Minus 40 was my regular. Minus 40 doesn't matter Celsius or Fahrenheit. That's cold.
Oh, no. People should live there. Why are you living there?
I lived there for 10 years. It wasn't so bad.
Well,
yeah.
Like people live in Alaska. They hear spring and summer is beautiful in Alaska, but winter sucks.
Yes.
So, I don't like.
Well, it's nature of the world. Hold on a second here. We're gonna. Oh, there we go. You're coming back a little bit. Coming back a little bit.
Yeah, again.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It happens.
I can't control it.
Well, thanks AF for stopping by. It's definitely been fun to have you. Definitely watch the rest later. As you have come back, as Nikki has come back to us in full now. Hooray!
Sorry.
No, why?
There's reptilian overlords are watching our stream.
That's okay. Why? Hi.
Hi, reptilian overlords.
Yeah. I just waved. Whatever. I mean, I truly don't give a fuck. It's one of those things like, it is what it is. So you mentioned this next life, so I'm gonna ask this one as a real fun one. Do you do you believe in reincarnation? It's I'm gonna ask this because I'm curious. When you talk about next life, you do this, next life you do that.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's a cool idea. With most things spiritual, I'm more of that's a cool idea. Is it real? I have no freaking clue. But it'd be really cool if it is. But if it isn't,
agnostic.
I guess I am. I guess I am. I've done the New Age thing. Many years ago, I was into the whole New Age thing. I did all the things. It's so embarrassing now. But now, I don't know. I don't know anymore. And quite frankly, I don't think it really matters. I'm just a talking monkey, just trying to get through life I'm a monkey filled with anxiety. That's all that I am. And if there is a God, if there is something afterwards, I like to think that this thing is a lot smarter than we are, and can much better understand me than I understand me. Now, I'm a very spiritual person in that I do believe in some things. They may be a bit hooey, but I like them. I've had experiences. I've had things happen to me in my life that made me think, okay, so I think there's something. But do I think any religion has it stamped down? No, I do not. I think all religions pretty much probably go to the one, whatever that is. I love the idea of like the multiverse. That's a cool idea. I love the idea of there being other lives and we just being spirits kind of going through the lives and learning things and things. That's really cool. It's a great idea. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a cool
See,
idea.
I'm not really crazy about the idea of reincarnation, to be perfectly honest with you,
Why?
because it sounds like hell.
No, why?
But okay, because here's the thing, okay? I look at it like this: like I am here, and then one day I am not here.
Right.
Where do I go?
To the
Yeah.
other world.
Well,
wherever
maybe
that
another
is.
world, but if it's part of here, I'm still here.
But I don't think it is a part of here.
Well, maybe it's not. Like if there's
Dimensions or
something
something.
beyond here, I don't necessarily think that's reincarnation. That's just whatever that is.
Soul transmigration kind of thing.
Well, yeah. What like whatever like. But the idea of coming back here in another life, in another place, has never appealed to me. Just because I am grateful for the life I have lived. There are a lot of things I still want to do, and I know when my time comes, there's going to be things left on the table that I didn't do.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that. I don't. I'm not meant to finish everything I set out to do in this life. That's not what this is about. This is about. I broke down life really into. So, I tend to have more of a Christian bent with my beliefs in terms of God, Jesus, and stuff like that. One of my favorite stories in the Bible was Solomon. Solomon literally did everything under sun. He was king. He could get anything he wanted. Did everything he wanted to do. He concluded that only three things truly mattered: the first love, food in your belly, God. That's it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's very much because there's very, and just from my own experiences, I just recognize there's very little in this life that truly matters. For me, it's do what you love, with people you love, with whatever you believe in, right? That's it.
It's cool.
It's not like super complicated for me in that sense, because it's just like I've learned that, like, again, there's just very, very little that really, really resonates. Like, you can't, any fortune you make, you can't carry with you. Any legacy you create, you can't take it with you. What you do is you live. You look at what you really want to do in this life, whatever that is, and you just do it. And
the problem is I forget that people who are religious, because I love to read about religions, because to me it's all fodder. Because again, it is, to me it's all fodder, and I forget they really believe that stuff, and I will accidentally offend them, and I really don't mean to. If that is what gets you through the day, cool. But to me, everything's just fodder, and if we find out that the Mormons have got it right, I'm fine. But I like to think God's a lot cooler than that, or whatever it is. It's a lot cooler than that. But I have no problem with the idea of reincarnation, of soul transmigration, because I've had the whole past life regression thingy, and it's very interesting. The people that who I've been, it's very cool to see how, yes, that kind of all these blocks have. I can see me doing that. That's me, and it was just kind of cool. My sister had a very interesting when she was a little bitty kid. She used to have these horrible concentration camp dreams before she even knew about the Holocaust. She had terrible dreams. And then many years later, took her to a place, and she come to find out that she had been killed in the Holocaust. And the woman told her all about what happened to her and all the things, and it just clicked. All the things, the scar she has on her body, all the dreams she used to have as a child, being put into the ground and being people on top of her and all the dirt. And that's what happened to her. And this absolute stranger is telling her the dreams that she had as a child. And so to this day, I kind of tease Mel about that. Whenever she does anything, I go, well, if you hadn't sacrificed all those Jews and gotten them all killed, because in the story she screwed up and kind of alerted the Nazis to where they were. So, and then she teases me because in my past life, I was extraordinarily fat, really morbidly obese fat. And my father owned a pub, and my mother died when I was born. Anyway, the deal is I could not stand to be around people who drank. I didn't have my first alcoholic beverage till I was 45 years old. Because to me, alcohol meant bad. to me, alcohol meant bad things will happen. It would cause me to have anxiety attacks. Also, the fact my parents were alcoholics probably kind of fed into that kind of dream. I mean, I grew up some shit. So anyway, yeah, I have no idea. I have no problem with it. I think it's kind of cool. And as for storytelling purposes, awesome. I'm doing a lot of research in Jinn right now for a story that I want to write eventually. They hate Solomon. They hate him bad. They just, to this day, the Jinn hate Solomon. They're still pissed because he had them all enslaved at one point in time. Until he died, then it was the enchantment was broken because he was quite the wizard. He was quite the magic user. So learning about Jinn, I like the idea of Jinn, that Jinn actually exist all around us right now. And I like to think when I'm reading about hauntings and UFOs and all kind of, I'm always just thinking that's just Jinn. It's just Jinn fucking with us, just messing with us. Because if you read that kind of crap, God created three. He created the angelics, then he created the Jinn, then he created us, and we're kind of like the really kind of the slow-minded cousins. Because the Jinn and the angels, well, angels put up with us a lot more than Jinn do. Jinn don't like us that much. So, did you read about Jinns are fascinating, but in our culture, we always see them as genies and stuff. But when you actually do the research into what the Muslims think of the Jinn, and I lived in Muscat for a while, and that's where I started learning about Jinn. To them, that's just what it is. You don't fuck with them.
No. They are very powerful. Like I stumbled upon the Jinn concept, especially the Arabic Jinn concept, with of all things, Alana Andrews. One of the bad guys was a Jinn, and they used the concept of the three wishes as a way to demonically possess somebody, which was an interesting
cool
take
idea.
on. Right?
Most of my Jinn are like that wish. No, we don't do that. Fuck you. And so, but when I lived in Muscat, when I lived in Muscat, my hobby was to go to the souks, and I was always looking for just remnants of their pagan past. So I would go to the silver souk, and I would dig, and I would dig, and I would dig, and I would find these pendants that were talismans against demons. I would find Tsar rings, and they're used in exorcism rituals against Jinn. And I have them somewhere. But yeah, so that was my thing. I would go and look for medallions that got rid of demons and things, because even though the Muslims they don't adhere to any of that supernatural crap from their past, it's still there. Especially if you go out into the more boony areas like Nizwa and things like that. Not so much in the big capital cities like Muscat, but you go out to Nizwa, way out into the desert. Oh yeah, I remember going to a spirit cave near Nizwa. And the spirit cave was full of Jinn, according to the people who lived there. And people would bring halwa, which is this real thick, gooey sweet. And
I still eat halwa myself.
Halwa. Oh, I can't eat it. Blech, but they would take plates of halwa into the spirit cave to appease the Jinn.
It's good shit.
I never saw any Jinn, but there were a lot of fat goats. A lot of fat goats wandering around. But a lot of fat diabetic goats. But no, I never saw any Jinn. But I never want to piss one off. Oh, hell no. The more I learn about them, shoot, no. No. All about the Jinn, man. And the Fae, I think the Fae are probably just Jinn. We just call them a different thing.
It's interesting, like, where mythologies actually kind of tie together in interesting ways. So my accidental story that I'm writing right now is I'm doing a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. But mine is Alice in Wonderland matched up with Greek mythology.
Ooh.
Alice is Pandora.
Ooh, it's cool.
That fits, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It really, really does.
Yeah,
Well done.
No.
That's cool.
It's the same story. If you actually sit there and think about it, it's actually the same story.
Yes.
Pandora opens the box and unleashes all the evils in the world. Her curiosity leads her into this rabbit hole, for lack of a better term. Alice also follows a white rabbit into a rabbit hole. Same curiosity, that same wondering what will happen if I do this. That's what they have in common, right? And so
That's a cool idea.
So I was asked to do, like we were talking about, like, going back full circle here. I was asked to do a Lewis Carroll poem, essentially, and I was like, well, what can I say about Lewis Carroll that hasn't been done? And for me, it came out of all things trying to impress a chick. Because I end up going to a bar and I met this girl. She had a Gorgon tattoo on her arm that she did herself.
She did herself?
Yeah, no, she drew it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like there's some. So met her buds, and I said, I'll put you in the store. I'll make you a Medusa. Medusa's an interesting.
I love Medusa.
Medusa is an incredibly interesting character. Mm-hmm. Just in it, like just her story is. So I'm not going to spoil what I do with Medusa in my story, but I make her incredibly noble. Actually, she's very.
Well, she should be. The retelling of the Medusa story is really getting a much better and retelling in the modern day. Medusa's getting a much better telling nowadays.
Oh, what I do to her in my series, like in the series, is very cruel, but also because in my series, Alice is both. She's a paradox. She's the cause and the cure to everything going on.
Okay.
All right. Unfortunately, that means since she's the cause, everything around her pays for it.
Right.
So Greek mythology, if you really sit there and think about it, it's all about like the thing is they either become constellations in heaven or they become monsters, and there's very little in between.
Which is true.
Right. So Medusa became a monster unfairly.
Very.
Right. And so in my story, it's similar, but Alice does it to her by accident. It's a really. I'm not going to spoil.
Let's split. Okay, I got to like, because I mean, I love Athena. Athena's one of my favorite goddesses, but she's a bit of a cunt. She did some really bad things.
So she's the Queen of Hearts in my story.
Oh my gosh, she'd be a perfect Queen of Hearts.
Oh yeah,
she would be.
No,
although she's aromantic, asexual.
I'll tell you where actually Athena is in the United States, and nobody really thinks about it.
What?
Statue of Liberty.
That is true.
No, it's Statue of Liberty. If you look at it, when I was doing my own research for this, look at the Statue of Liberty from the top down.
Yeah, it's.
Right. She's no. Not only is it Athena with dominion over the sun and moon, she's also in an 11-pointed star. If you actually look at it from the top down, talk about occult. The United States is an incredibly interesting occult history.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's an incredibly, and the Statue of Liberty is no different. Yeah. If you look up what the Statue of Liberty is from a Gnostic, like from Kabbalah,
yes,
it's an evil thing.
What's it called? Sacred geometry.
Yeah. And in that particular case, it's a very evil thing.
I will have to look into that.
Yes, look.
In Nashville we have a Parthenon. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't seen it. I'm not seeing it.
It's gorgeous. Check it out. It's beautiful. And inside of it is Athena. She's, I don't know, 300 feet tall. She's incredibly tall, and it's beautiful. Although they gave her blue eyes, which I was like, she has gray eyes. But okay, whatever.
But no, you know what? That still works. That still works.
She's gray-eyed. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But yes, there actually is an Athena cult in Nashville that every so often, I think it has like 3 people in it, and every so often they'll go and they'll leave flowers and things, tributes to Athena. It's a beautiful thing.
She is like, and like I said, looking up like this particular degree.
I will look that up.
Yeah, look that up. That's like if you look at the United, like again, I decided that I would look at some of the, because the United States, if you really sit there and think about that, they say they believe in God. If you look at all the statues, everything in the country, right? It's Greco, it's Roman, and it's occult.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of Masons. A lot of Illuminati going on.
Yeah.
A lot of Masons.
Yeah. But that's the, like, if you were to judge a culture from appearances, right? Oh. The United States is not what most would not. A lot of people would say it's Christian. It's not. It's actually
God,
no. It's
our
not. Our
founding fathers weren't even Christian. They were deists.
Yes.
The Jefferson Bible. I mean, good Lord, that's what they swear people in on has all of the miracles taken out because Thomas Jefferson was a deist. Actually, all of our founding fathers were deists. My husband used to do when he was a sniper in the Marine Corps. He would do these. He did a class when he did classes, and he would always start his class off with this one phrase: "Our founding fathers were terrorists," and that got everybody's like,
Yeah.
"What?" But and he would back it up. Our founding fathers were terrorists. The only reason they're patriots is because we won.
Yep.
And I'm going to teach you guys how to win. Because that's the point. His point was to help. You got to teach your guys so they don't die while they're out there doing the things. But yeah, that's how you always start every class.
Yeah, but no, I mean that's the thing, right? Like we have like again, looking at our history honestly is fascinating.
Oh, fascinating.
It's not what people think it is, and it's ironic that a lot of the things that people are thinking they're revolting against. It's interesting to me because, like, honestly, you should be paying close attention to what you're actually saying and what's actually around you. It's such a fascinating.
I wrote a short story using sacred geometry called "The Answer Bell." I don't know what anthology it's in, but yeah, it's all about sacred geometry. But I used the Bicentennial Mall down in Nashville, and they end up causing the end of the world. Cracking, Biakis, Cthulhu, the whole thing, all happens in Nashville. So, but yeah, it's true. I mean, I love a good conspiracy theory. Don't get me wrong, man. I love a good conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. Back when conspiracies were fun, now they're kind of like all political and shit. Back when they were fun, and you could look at shit like that and go, "Whoa, that's really cool."
Well, here's the thing. Like I used to be a lot bigger into it than I am now. I still love good conspiracies myself. And to be perfectly honest, the thing of the good and bad thing about conspiracies is some of them are actually true. And those are the best.
Yeah. Or they have a seed of truth.
Yeah, one or the other, right? Some of them are actually dead to rights true. Some of them kernels of truth. Some of them have no truth.
But now that I work for the state, I can tell you right now, man, the government's way too no. No. I can't imagine anyone.
No. So here's the thing, right? This is what I've learned just because I've been on. This is my own time. The established way things are advertised is not true. And it's never been true and never will be true. The conspiracy side of things is also not true because they both have this in common. This is what they have in common. They require you to swallow a lie, to actually that's actually what they both do. If you want to find the truth, whatever the truth actually is, you have to accept the fact that whatever you're looking for, you're going to have to face the fact that chances are you're going to have to swallow something that isn't true, right? On some level or another. And what I've learned is just based on just my own experiences in life. I've interviewed government officials. I can tell you straight up, most of them can. Sometimes it's a wonder they can tie their shoes. Let alone say what they say. That all said, do I think there are agendas and politics going on, all this stuff? Sure, absolutely, absolutely. But there's a point with everything that you gotta kind of you have to be honest about it. Okay, you have to be honest about it, right? Everybody's talking about right, like the COVID passport right now. What that really is, like, if you want to break the debate down really, really honestly, right? It's this: should the state have the power to dictate what's in your body? Yes or no? That's the debate, one way or the other. There are arguments for, there's arguments against. Fact of the matter is, that's the debate. It almost really like doesn't like me, right? Now, do I think necessarily that if the government does have this power, they're going to make me swallow this vile crap for the rest of my life? Probably not. At the same token, just based on what I've seen in the last year, they can't handle the power they have. Why the hell would I give them more? Now, that's my point of view. But again, I've learned because I've been on both ends of the equation, is that neither side is really true. The truth much like everything else that's real in life, you have to look for it, and you have to also accept the fact too that you know what, you're fallible, and that normally in this quest to find whatever truth is out there, you're probably going to swallow some bullshit, and you're going to
Always remember that you may be wrong. That's
yeah,
always been a thing for me.
yeah, that's it, and you have to accept that, and you have to.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of my mantra.
Yeah.
Always remember you might be wrong.
Yeah.
Adaptation or elimination. But again, working the state, we don't have any. No, not what we do. But in the big scheme of it, I don't think there's reptilians. I don't believe that. I don't think David Icke has got anything. I don't think the royal family.
The only thing David Icke actually got right is the fact that it is oddly the same family running it, like oddly. Like
I have no problem. Yeah, well.
Yeah. So I mean, our leadership is the strangest bit of nepotism ever on the planet. Right?
Oh, trust me. Oh, they're all related. When you really look down to it, it's really spooky, creepy, weird.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely like that's the part he got right. The rest,
so weird, and that's why they don't want to lose their power.
Yeah,
I mean, if you have power, you don't want to lose it. Never going to lose it.
Oh, absolutely. No, and that's human nature. Like, look, I mean, I become very successful doing this. I want to be successful for as long as I can. Because who wants like that's just human nature, and I'm gonna want more. That's human nature.
What was it I read recently? But somebody was talking to some writer saying how this guy's made more money in 1 month than you'll ever make, and he says, "Yeah, well, I'll have something he'll never have, and that's enough."
Yeah,
that's the thing. I don't know. I've never been wealthy, so I have no idea what that's like. But I am right now at a point where if I need to give someone some money, I can. I mean, it ain't gonna be much, but I can, and I can help out, and I've done it. I mean, it happens all the time, especially on Facebook and GoFundMe's. And it is sad that we live in a country where people have to go fund their medical issues. That's wrong. Absolutely. I'm very about that. It's stupid. We have all the technology and all the ways to help people 1,000 times over, and we don't do it. Well, so this guy can have an extra whatever.
We don't have time to do this as a full conversation next. We've already gone over an hour.
Oh shit! Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no. It's all no. It's whatever. I mean, we can keep talking for a few more minutes for sure. I don't want to go into this in great detail simply because we don't have.
Yeah, we'll get all political and it'll be all bad. Okay.
Yeah. But the long and short, last year has taught me this very, very real thing. The way we do business needs to change.
Ooh. Yeah.
The medical industry in the United States. His biggest problem, and has been for a very long time, is the insurance companies.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Has been, and that's the reality. When we look at, and the fact of the matter is, okay, hypothetical. We're just going to be hypothetical just for a quick second here. Let's say the vaccines today all have the same result they did in 1976 or 1994 with the MMR vaccine. Guess what? Doctors are going to be blamed. Specialists are going to be blamed. All these people that are these supposed smart people are going to be discredited. Flip side, the very companies that made them, the insurance companies that allowed them to happen, will walk away scot-free. If they do work out exactly as they hope they do, the insurance companies are going to make a shit ton of money. More money than just about the only people that make more money than those guys are the people that work in R&D. Mm-hmm. They're the only people that make more than those guys. So that is the nature of the business of the United States and to a lesser extent Canada runs by. So the thing is, 10, 20 years from now, we will end up exactly back here, only worse, if we don't change.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So anyone watching, anyone listening to this, when you see things as like this, always remember to ask this question: who's really benefiting? Because that is who's advertising.
Yep, almost. Who's making the money? Follow the dollar.
Yeah, it's true. That's all the time. Most people don't do it. And also, watch your history.
Oh.
You watch your history, because here's the thing: it happens all the time.
Every time. Humans don't stop.
Well,
like stocks. If you want to buy stocks, what you do is you think, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? and you count on it, and that's how you get your biggest stock picks.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. I've been like, I wish I really got some stock in lumber, because now lumber is absolutely insane. Well, who the fuck would have realized? But now,
Well, it will be for the next few years until the housing market collapses again, which it will.
Well,
Yeah.
it will, of course, because it comes and it goes. But because I have all my stocks in biotech and weed. Oh, and cloud technology. Because eventually weed will be legal everywhere. And once
so I don't know, you'll do fantastic. I'm going to be investing in crypto, because that to me makes the most sense right now to invest in. But all of which like the history lesson I'm going to make.
Yes.
The essential worker is treated as a hero right now. Do you know who was treated as a hero 20 years ago?
Who?
The police.
20 years ago, that was 1990?
No, that was 2001, 9/11.
9/11. Oh, but firemen
and police both. Firemen and police both. So to me, I don't. This is actually, I think, a good way to wrap this. We're the last topic at the end before wrap.
Yeah, it's a big bummer. We're being a real big bummer here.
Well, no. The hope. I had a thought today. This is and Rudy too.
Oh my God, Rudy! What happened to Rudy?
Because he was always
got the crazy eyes, and
but he always was that guy. It's just right place, right time. He was someone else.
I guess he had better makeup or something to make up crew, because he looks like shit now. Ugh.
But no, I only bring this up. It's like I realized something very, very important, and this is a bummer, but maybe we can use this as an opportunity to really think about this.
Okay.
We don't treat our heroes well.
Oh, we don't. Americans hate heroes.
So actually, same here. We hate our heroes. Like we really, really do. And
well, in America, what we do is we give people buttons and little stickers and tell them, "Hey, you're great. Give me fucking money, okay? If you really love me." Because where I work, every year we have an employee appreciation week where we get stickers. They send us things to draw. They send us a sketch. It's like we're back in kindergarten. And I'm just like, excuse me, if you really love me, I'll take a fucking Starbucks gift card, okay? It's like when we had a heart disease thing. They were like, oh, a heart disease, and be good to your heart. But here's some salty popcorn. Wait a minute, you just what the fuck? But that's where I work. I mean, this is what's going to happen. It's what we do in America. Is we think we infantilize people. We think we give people like little thumbs up and all the bits. No, man. Yes. Pay your employees.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've been very tempted to actually just take pictures of all that we think are essential workers and go, here's a thought, pay the essential worker, right?
Especially teachers, nurses.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no. Not just teachers, nurses. Nurses, they are paid better in the States than they are here, but they even probably still a little underpaid even there.
They're underpaid, especially overworked.
Yeah, overworked, underpaid. The fact of the matter is, like, this is my hope. This is my hope going forward, is we take a really good, hard look at ourselves and how we've been and how we got here. Because if we come back here in 20 years, it will be terrible.
You will hope we will have grown. We really do. But people don't. I don't know. I think we get lazy.
No. It's people free. So
do you think we have like a 30 year spin? We do 70s, 80s, 90s over and over and over again.
Oh, actually, it's earlier than that. More like 50s, 60s, 70s, and then we just repeat that over and over and over.
Well, the 90s.
No. 90s or the 60s. 90s or the 60s.
Oh, you're right. 90s or the 60s. Shit, you're right.
But
50s, 60s, 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Although 80s was very yuppie, and that's not 70s.
It was the 2010s, though.
Maybe. But yeah, I remember.
I wanted to press. Actually, let's go on.
Okay, we'll stop because we got things to do. All right, come on.
Yeah. No. I don't want to press for. I just that's what this time has taught me, is to look at where we were, and figure out where we're going.
Yeah,
So
let's do that.
yeah, that's it. So in spite of all I just said, here, I did want to say this and that. I read. So Warren Ellis isn't exactly a popular name right now because of what he's
But I
done with.
love his stuff, but I know that he's having a bad time.
Yeah, I love his stuff too. My favorite is Transmetropolitan. I love
Yes! Oh
Transmetropolitan.
my God, Spider Jerusalem. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that book
I
so
love
much.
Spider.
But
He's basically Hunter S. Thompson in the future.
yeah, no, it's such a smart.
It's so awesome.
My favorite Warren Ellis book is Planetary, but number 2 is Transmet.
Okay.
Planetary to me is like I'm a comics guy, so Planetary for me is like a homage to every comic I've ever read. Because
look for this. Okay.
No, okay, so it's a pulpy concept. It's about archaeologists exploring the secrets of their universe. And this was the first time the Fantastic Four were actually done as villains. Not Marvel did not do it first. He did. And he did it about 10 years before Marvel even thought to do it. Right? But it has references to the Metal Men. Spider Jerusalem does have a cameo in that series.
I love Spider
Right?
Jerusalem.
All right. But you also
today is John Constantine's birthday.
Oh, very cool.
Did not know that. I love him.
But my favorite short Spider, actually I have 2 of them. The one that doesn't count, like Spider Jerusalem at Christmas, still makes me laugh so hard.
Okay, I'm trying to remember. Oh, it doesn't matter.
So long story short, it's the one time of the year he's by himself. He tried to get a hold of Royce, and his assistant, the Royce assistant, goes, "Mr. Jerusalem, there is a bomb in my head, and if I tell you his address, it will go off. He did this horrible thing to me so that you would not be able to find him during the holidays." Hilarious. Are you there? Oh no. Okay. Yeah, hold on. You'll come back.
Sorry, it's
Yeah, okay. But my favorite one talks about the future, and it's in the dead of winter. And Spider is about to get revenge on his filthy assistants who nailed him with some snowballs. They hit him with a snowball in the face. He came out with like a gun, like a Nerf gun of snowballs, just launching at them. It's hilarious. But he talks about the future, and the future, he goes, the future is always better than the present, and we get there one winter at a time. And that, oddly enough, is very fitting to the character. Also, I think somewhat fitting to Warren himself. But also, I loved. It's a reminder that no matter how bad things get, no matter how much we tend to.
I'm starting to lose you again.
Okay, hold on a second here. Let's give it a magic try here. What?
Oh, there we go. I'm back again.
I disconnected and reconnected you. Yeah. See what happened.
We're gonna have to. Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up. Yeah. Yes. We are out of time, ladies and gentlemen. So, Nikki.
Oh.
So we had a good time.
It's been fun.
But before you go, let's see. Well, hold on a second. We're gonna try one more time here. What? I don't know if that helped or not. So, actually, can you do me a favor? Can you hear me? I don't think she can hear me. She can kind of hear me. You're kind of there. You're kind of not.
Sorry you.
No. So here's what I'm going to have you do. Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
I normally ask you to promote something and how people can find you. Why don't you type that up for me? Oh wait, you came back a little bit. Hold on. You're back. You're coming back. Little by little here. I guess you're back. Hey, it's great.
Hey.
So I'm going to finish I'm going to go back to what I said here earlier. Then we're going to wrap up and have you promote shit before this happens again. Okay. Okay. So Spider Jerusalem is talking about the future in this like winter's day, and his filthy assistants, you know who they are, level him with snowballs, right?
Right.
So as this is going, this is a snowball fight. But of course, being Spider, he cheats. He brings out like this bazooka with snowball that can fire rapid fire snowballs at them. But the whole time he's talking about the future. And I love the idea of what he says, and that's this: is that the future always gets better than the past, and we get there one winter at a time. He talks about his love of winters and the cold and all that stuff. And I actually I think now that's a really really good quote because honest to God, yeah, right now things suck, but at the same token, we're not staying here. We're all moving forward. I mean, I might have to go get myself booted out of the Dollarama forever to steal some underwear. I mean, that's that
and
and
socks.
socks. Yeah, especially socks. I might have to do that because it's that kind of fucked up time. But tomorrow will be better,
Yeah.
and the day after will be better, and the day after will eventually be better. Because yes, we do forget, but there's a beauty. There's a beauty in forgetting, and that's this: if you can forget the pain a little bit, you can heal from it.
Yes, true.
And I think that's actually, and that is my hope. That is actually my real hope, my secret hope about through also as crazy as some of everybody has been, as much as we all lost our minds. Maybe just maybe, a day will come, and actually, a day will come that we will all just forget, and life will go on, and that magic will return again.
I hope so, or at least learn.
Yeah.
It is the, what was it Merlin said? It is the bane of men that they forget. Something. Anyway, yes. But yes, okay. So
It's also the blessing, though. Sometimes it's also the blessing as well.
It is the doom of man that they forget. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but that all said, that's how we learn. But Miss Nikki, I think we had a fun conversation. You made me laugh my ass off so
good.
hard.
I'm glad. That's what I'm here for, man. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, it was nice to get to know you a little better. I will never piss you off. That's the level of the story. Also, I will bring a clean pair of underwear just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Always.
Oh, underwear is important. It's like,
very important.
Like this is a sign you know you're old when you can actually truly appreciate underwear.
No, wait till you get old enough and you really appreciate pooping. Oh my God, you have no idea. So yes, that's a whole different conversation. Trust me, you don't want to.
I'm still 40, and honestly, I'm incredibly regular.
I'm 55, so that stops.
Actually, not necessarily. We'll talk.
Maybe you're good. I'm not. So I got bad genes. So
you know what?
Anyway, no pooping. So what do we talk about now? I need to do something because don't get me started on the poop. Trust me.
Okay. We won't do this online, but
you don't want to get me started. I can talk about the pooping.
Okay.
I have a whole shtick.
Okay, we'll have a whole stick on.
I have a whole shtick on just poop.
That's fantastic. Oh my God. Okay, we can't do this tonight, but we gotta do this next time. Next time you come back, we'll do a whole thing.
Poop. All right,
yeah,
make sure.
We'll talk about the poop. But for right now, good God. For right now, talk about something you recently had, either that's coming up or recently came out, one or the other.
The most recent thing that I have out. Go ahead.
All right, and then tell people how they can find you.
Oh.
Okay.
Now? Okay. So the most recent thing I have out is called Stone Baby and Other Strange Tales. It is a anthology of short horror stories. And you can find me on Amazon everywhere. Just Google me up on Amazon. I also have a website, nnhbooks.com. You can go there. I update my blog, and you can go to all my books from there. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Just look up either Nick Cubed, NIKCUBED, or just look up Nikki Nelson-Hicks. I'm everywhere pretty much. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And everybody, this conversation with just Josh, and I had a blast with Nikki.
Yeah, we had fun.
I hope so. And like I said, I hope I'm on your good side, because I certainly don't want to be on the bad side.
Always stay on my good side.
Yeah. So for those people watching, listening, if you want to support this podcast, click the like and follow button on my Twitch, twitch.tv/justjoshandpodcast. Hit the subscribe button. My army is growing bit by bit, and I'm very close to that wonderful affiliate status there. Getting there, little by little. Beyond that, I'm on YouTube as Joshua Pantelleresco. Click the like and subscribe button. I have books for sale on Amazon as well, if you like that kind of thing. Alice Zero being my latest release. Stay tuned June 15th when I maybe make a little announcement about when the sequel comes out. But to everybody watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. Tomorrow, JD Estrada returns to the podcast. It's going to be fun. All right, for everybody. Bye. Bye-bye.